Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ryan here, coming at you with Armory update number 16. And today it's a little different. We're playing or looking at Marlyn. My sister top forward. She got I believe it was third or fourth. I think it was fourth. She went 2-1 um and got top 4 on Marlyn. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and look into the deck and see what she was playing, and just go over the matchups and yeah. So her round one was into Cilio. She's not again. She's newer into the game, so she's really not versed into the arcane matchups. I don't even think she packed AB. Looking at her list, she didn't have any AB. And the game was still close because she was just sending as much damage as possible into Acilio. But not having AB really can hinder you against any wizard, and especially Acilio being able to blow you up at any given turn as soon as this combo lines up. It's really cool. The Acilio player was awesome. He's a good friend of mine, and I appreciate the patience he had, and he walked her through, and yeah, she's learning a lot for sure. Being a month into the game, she's been to maybe three not battle hardens. I'm sorry, three armories, and she finally got her first top, which is awesome. So after three armories, she's topping. It took me way longer than that. But yeah, so her second matchup was Ira. I believe it was Edge of Autumn Ira. She got the W on that one. It did go to time, but she was significantly ahead in life, and the opponent agreed that she was going to get it, so she went ahead, or the opponent went ahead and scooped. And then her third was Reinhardt, and apparently this list just demolishes Reinhardt. She was like 22-0 on the Reinhardt. Like, she was dumping damage into this Reinhardt. Reinhardt did have a pretty interesting build. It was claw and the flail, which I have seen some combos like that, but I think right now if you're playing Reinhardt, you're usually either playing double claw or romper club. Um, but yeah, so she went 2-1. She got top 4. As I said, she's playing Marlyn. Marlyn is the Marlyn treasure hunter. Action: destroy a gold you control. Create a gold harpoon in your hand. Go again. Basically, giving you free harpoons for your gold. And then whenever you draw a card during your action phase, you can put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal. And that's really important because that's where like three of a kind, golden tipple, and stuff like that come into play. So you can load your arsenal for free. But for times when she cannot load her arsenal for free, she plays Bullseye's Bracer, which actually goes ahead and gives the arrow +1, and loads the arrow to break the bracer, load the arrow, give it +1. Crown of Dominion is the main hat. I feel if you're playing a pirate, you start with a gold. It's pretty self-explanatory. Findles is kind of the go-to in this one because the harpoon is the weapon of choice, and the harpoon takes 4 resources to tap and load +4 on any arrow. And then if it's a harpoon, it gets overpower, which is kind of like the whole goal. You want to be sending as much overpowered damage at the enemy as possible. Usually, if you can add it with text, that's better. Go fish, stuff like that. The quiver is Quiver of Rustling Leaves. Now, you can use a Quiver of Abyssal Depths, I believe is what it's called, or Abyssal Depths. Um, this one just helps you if it's like an oops button if you can't load, or you don't have an arrow. This can and she plays Remembrance, so she doesn't have to play the Abyssal. But I mean, I have seen people do well with the Abyssal Quiver. Sea Sarongs just seems to be like the go-to legs for this style of build. Almost all of your arrows are blue. All your harpoons are blue almost, and so being able to send multiple a turn if you can is the play, or being able to send an arrow into some type of command and conquer or something like that. Um, Speaking of command and conquer, if we get down into 60, Playing three CNCs, Conquer of the High Seas. It's the pirate CNC essentially. When this hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal, and then create gold tokens for each of the cards destroyed this way. It also has High Tide, which is if there's two or more blues in the pitch zone when this is played, this gets +1 and go again. So it's basically a CNC with go again that is a 8 break point if you pitch it with two blues. And with this deck, you're running a majority of a blue system, so it's really easy to pitch your Conqueror off of two blues. Golden Tipple, I feel like if you're playing Pirates, you're kind of have forced into the Tipple package. We do play 9. It's a draw. It's a created. It's a draw. You create a gold, and you get to discard a yellow if you need to feed your yard with yellows. I feel like Golden Tipple is a must play at 9. So we have the 3 reds. Lace with Bloodrot is one of the few front pumps. I think this is we play 2 front pumps total, and you play with Lace with Bloodrot. It's a 0 for +3, but on hit it gives your arrow a blood pox. On hit, it gives your opponent a blood pox token. Return Fire is something I really think is really good. I think a 4 block that allows you to essentially load and then gives you the arrow you're loading +3 is really, really sick. So that's a must-have. Take Aim. She calls this her oops button. If she can't load, she will block just to load. But it also covers up big turns, and it helps cover up turns like Dishonor and stuff like that. Now, playing 3 copies of 3 of a Kind. 3 of a Kind, you get to draw 3, and until end of turn, you may only play cards from your arsenal. So usually you're playing your things like your Command and Conquer, big game trophy shots, laces, tipples, all that before you 3 of a Kind. Then you 3 of a Kind, and you 3 of a Kind, you pump your Harpoon, and then you send arrow, right? Big game trophy shot. It's a pump that on hit makes the hero create a gold. It's a draw, so it allows you to go ahead and load, and it's a +4, so that's huge. It's also a yellow. So big game trophy shot is, in my opinion, like a must include. I think this is one of their best cards. If you're playing Ranger, you play Codex Frailty. It gets your arrows back. It's some type of disruption. She plays 3. Gold the tip. Your next arrow attack this turn gets +3. If there's a yellow arrow face up in your arsenal, create a gold. This is usually only if you're, because obviously there's no yellow arrows. This is usually if you're using a gold. You use gold in the you break the gold, create the arrow, load it, use gold in the tip, create the gold off of the arrow, or the harpoon that you made, and yeah. Golden Tipple, Riches of Tropical Dohanai. I probably butchered that, but it's the gold. It's the gold legendary. It's not necessary for this list. You don't have to have it. It's just really nice to see it if you do have it. It's kind of like I have Ophidia. You don't have to have it in these lists, but definitely nice to have it. We happen to own a copy, so she gets to play it. Bluefin Harpoon. So getting into harpoons, you're going to be pretty much running every blue harpoon you can. They all have Go Fish, and it all does something similar to the name. If it's overpowered and it hits, she gets to look at their hand and pick any blue for Bluefin. If it's not overpowered and it hits, they just show you something from their hand, and if it's blue, it's discarded and she creates a gold. Way better if it's overpowered. Bolton Shot is just a on hit go again reload. I feel like this could be something else. Probably a better on hit. Drill Shot really good. It's a put a -1 counter on your opponent's equipment they control, and it has piercing. So super good 0 for 2 arrow. Blue, because remember we're trying to stay with all blues. We got Golden the Tipple. These are the last 3 of a 9 copies blue. And then Portside Exchange is really good because it's a discard a card, then draw a card, so you can load. And then if the yellow card is discarded this way, you create a gold. So you're generating gold, you're loading, and you're essentially staying even with hand count. So it's really good. Portside Exchange is probably one of the better cards in here. Redfin Harpoon, similar to blue. If it hits while it's overpowered, they reveal their hand, and if it, you can pick a card out of it that's red and discard it and create a gold. If not, then obviously they show you a card. If it's red, if it's not red, nothing happens. Saltwater Swell, I think, is super good, especially if you're able to kind of like uh, opt. If you're able to opt the top of your deck, is the best way I can explain it. Swell is just really good if you're able to opt the top of your deck, because if you know there's a blue at the top, Swell is just a plus. You're just plussing off of whatever you're pitching into it. So Swell, in my opinion, is super good, especially because she runs Skullbone Cross Wraps and Sun matches, so she's able to get that opt, and she also runs Whisper of the Oracle, which allows you to opt to. So that's I feel like this Whisper of the Oracle is real close to a poor man's Eye of Ophidia. If you're trying to see what if you want to see what the top of your deck is, and you're willing to give up a blue to opt, I mean this may be a good substitution. Still testing it out. We're not 100% sure, but seemed to go well. Seemed to go well. Seafloor Salvage, just a block 3 blue that she can make a gold off of, basically, right? And then Yellowfin Harpoon is just like blue and red. If it hits and it's overpowered, you show her the opponent shows hand, and then you get to pick a yellow card. Probably not the best one. Yellow isn't the biggest color that's played, but you're playing as many harpoons as you can in this list. I think we're even talking about moving the 3 regular blue, like no text harpoons into the list. Into the inventory, we have the King Kraken Harpoon, which is the non-attack action cards if it hits. So you can pull non-attack action cards out of their hand, which would be really good into things like Wizard or Thug, Guardian. I don't know, anything with non-attacks. I figure Runeblade would be really good with that. But yeah, King Shark Harpoon's the more lethal one because it pulls action cards out of the hand, so they can't really do what they were trying to do. You can pull game plans out of their hand with King Shark Harpoon, depending on what you're playing. But this is more often than not your better harpoon. Though apparently, it's you don't play it in every deck because not every deck plays attack action cards. Weirdly, like Warriors, not a lot of Warriors play attack actions. Remembrance is her version of Abyssal Depths. It just shuffles 3 action cards from your graveyard into your deck, and then banish it. But the action cards are always going to be arrows. She plays Tar Pit Trap. It's the best trap that's ever been printed, right? When this defensive attack with Go again, the next time an action card hits this turn, effects don't trigger. Super good. Sleep Dart, it basically is Ranger's version of Humble. And then Widowmaker is their defense reacts can't be played, and if it's defended by 2 or fewer cards, it has +3. It's a super good end of game pushing arrow. I like Widowmaker a lot. I think it does a lot in this list as well. Just being able to give it +4 automatically through your harpoon or your cannon. I say harpoon. I should say cannon. I guess it's a harpoon cannon, but yeah. So yeah, that's the deck tech. Marlyn did pretty well. I do like this list. I have spent some personal time testing with this list to try to get it further, and we are doing more into the list. We'll have updates for it, I'm sure, as she goes further into it. Right now, she is playing around on Riptide and enjoying that. So, but yeah, we appreciate you guys, and Clovis was always great. So appreciate Clovis and Tim, the owner, and all the crew out there. You guys, appreciate you guys, and you have a good night.